Okay, let's talk about the ick. You know that feeling, right? When a crush you have just poof, evaporates. One minute you're totally smitten, and the next you're cringing at something as small as the way they run for a bus. It's this sudden, totally baffling reversal, and today we're going to figure out what is really going on inside our brains when it strikes. I mean, this quote right here, it's perfect. Smelling like pizza. From a guy who works at a pizza place. It's the kind of thing that makes you question your own sanity, doesn't it? Like, how can something so small, so seemingly illogical, just completely kill your attraction? It feels like a total mystery, but trust me, it's one we're going to solve. So if you've ever felt this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's confusing, and it's almost kind of funny. But what if I told you there's a powerful scientific reason for this sudden shift? Yeah, let's get into it. All right, so to really understand the ick, we've got to start with the science. Like, what is actually happening in our brains when that switch flips from, wow, I'm so into them, to instant repulsion? Let's find out. And look, this isn't just about being turned off. It is a full body experience. See that word visceral? That's the key. It means a deep gut feeling. It's your brain and your body literally slamming on the brakes. And now we're about to find out why. And hey, if you felt it, you are so not alone. I mean, think you're the only one? No way. A recent study found that almost 2/3 of us have been hit with the ick at some point. It is a surprisingly common thing. And get this, for a lot of people, this isn't just some passing thought. It's a total deal breaker. The feeling is so powerful that for over a quarter of the people who experience it, that's it. Relationship over. On the spot. So who's most likely to get the ick? Well, the research points to some pretty fascinating personality links. Turns out, if you've got super high, super rigid standards for a partner, or maybe a touch of what psychologists call grandiose narcissism, where any tiny flaw in your partner feels like it reflects badly on you, then you might be more susceptible. Okay, but it's not just about personality. The ick is also tied to the very nature of desire itself. So let's dive into this really interesting paradox of attraction and see how our brains are basically hardwired for the chase. All right, let's talk brain chemistry for a sec. You've heard of dopamine, right? People call it the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite the whole story. It's really more of a motivation chemical. Its job is to make us want things, to pursue them. And here's the kicker. It spikes highest not when we get the reward, but during the thrill of the chase. And this is where things get really interesting. The chase, it's a total dopamine-fueled roller coaster of excitement, mystery, and anticipation. It feels amazing, right? But what happens when you finally catch the person you've been chasing? Well, that novelty wears off, the dopamine drops, and your brain can misinterpret this new, comfortable stability as, well, boredom. And that's the moment when you might suddenly start noticing every little thing. The way they hold their fork, the sound of their laugh. The ick might just be your brain freaking out because that neurological thrill ride is over. So you have to wonder, right, is the ick really just that jarring feeling of the chase finally being over? Is it just our brains rebelling against the comfort and predictability of a real, stable relationship? It's a pretty fascinating question, and man, does it have huge implications for how we all date today. Okay, so now let's add another layer to this whole puzzle, modern dating. Because this timeless brain chemistry stuff, it gets totally supercharged by the unique pressures of dating apps, social media, and the crazy expectations they create. I mean, think about it. Swipe left, swipe right. We are constantly bombarded with what feels like an endless stream of potential partners, and every single one looks perfect on their curated profile. This creates an illusion of infinite choice, which makes it way, way easier to just dismiss a real, flawed human being because they don't live up to some digital fantasy. Wow, this quote it nails it, doesn't it? An adversarial model of dating. It's so true. Sometimes it feels like a search for a real connection and more like a battlefield where everyone's on high alert, just looking for red flags and deal breakers. It's no wonder the ick has become such a powerful and, frankly, common force. So where does that leave us? What can we do about it? Are we all just doomed to be slaves to our brain's reward system, forever chasing that next dopamine high? Well, the good news is, no, we're not. By understanding the ick, we can actually learn to master it. So, you're ready to take back control? Here's a simple 3-step plan. This is all about moving from a knee-jerk reaction to a conscious choice. So step 1, just acknowledge the feeling. Don't judge it. Just notice it's there. Step 2, get curious. Ask yourself, where is this coming from? Is this a real deal breaker? Or is it just my brain reacting because the chase is over? And then step 3, you consciously choose how to respond. See, this isn't about ignoring your gut. It's about making sure your gut isn't being tricked by your own brain chemistry. It's a super powerful way to reclaim your dating life. And this is where the real work starts. We're talking about building self-awareness, actually practicing gratitude for the real person in front of you, and setting healthy boundaries to keep the dynamic interesting. But maybe most importantly, it's about redefining perfect. It's about accepting that no one is flawless. Every great relationship has a price of admission, right? And it's up to you to decide if the connection is actually worth it. And this quote, it's such a powerful reminder that we have way more control than we think we do. We can actually train our brains to appreciate the reality of a good relationship instead of constantly chasing the impossible fantasy of a perfect partner. So, I'll leave you with this. The next time you feel the ick creeping in, just pause and ask yourself, is this a warning sign or is it a mirror? Is it really about them, or is it maybe a reflection of your own fear of intimacy, your own impossible standards, or maybe even your own addiction to the chase? Thinking about that? Well, it might just change the way you date forever.